Yes, you join us every year to talk about this, but what's really important is this is not a one-day event for you all. This is something you are focused on all year. I think just since last year, you've hired something like 10,500 veterans or their spouses to put to work through KKR, and that's really amazing. Why don't we talk about what you're getting when you hire a veteran and why a lot of these veterans have had much tougher times coming back into the workforce?
Well, what our portfolio companies have learned is that hiring a veteran is not just the right thing to do, it's really the smart thing to do from a business perspective. And once they've had experience with veterans and with their spouses, by the way, who have also sacrificed and served in many respects as well, once they've hired them, they realize how attractive the values, the attributes, the qualities, the experiences, the expertise, leadership skills, and above all, frankly, the teamwork that individuals learn while in the service, and often quite diverse teams, as you would expect. So veterans have become very attractive in the workplace, and it was not surprising that in the last couple of years, the unemployment rate for former active duty veterans was a good bit lower than the very low unemployment rate that we had in the country at the time.
What kind of roles do these veterans go to work into? What's an example or two?
Well, it really varies. We have numerous commissioned officers who have gone into financial work, often after doing a business degree. And then there are others that are foremen on assembly lines and are working in some of our industrial companies. Again, it's the entire gamut. And needless to say, it depends on what the individual did in the service. We own the largest medical evacuation helicopter company in the world, or certainly in the United States. And I went to inspect the maintenance facility and some of their other facilities, and what I saw were plenty of my old friends from the days when we invaded Iraq with the 101st Airborne Division with 254 helicopters. So again, there you had the pilots, the crews, you even had medevac experienced pilots and crews as well. So again, it very much depends on what their background was, what additional education or training they may have received, because there's an awful lot of great programs out there now that are adding IT skills to the resumes of the veterans that are in the job market.
You know, you mentioned that the unemployment rate for veterans has dropped significantly over the last several years. KKR has a huge number of businesses that it oversees and that it owns at least a stake in. What did it used to be when you would go to the head of a business when this first started out and tried to explain to them why a veteran would make a good job candidate? And what's it like now when you talk to heads of businesses?
Well, there's no convincing that needs to be done anymore. Maybe a decade or a bit more ago, there were some questions about veterans, whether they could adapt to the civilian workplace, all of these kinds of issues, which have turned out by and large to be untrue. Again, veterans are used to seeing a task through. They get up early in the morning. They've been on battlefields. They have faced far greater challenges than you're going to see in most businesses in the United States. And over time, the CEOs and the leaders of the businesses that we own, and by the way, the other private equity firms have similar records, the large ones. These leaders have come to realize that you really can't get enough veterans. They want them more and more because, as I noted before, it's the smart thing to do from a business perspective. And of course, it is also the right thing to do.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.